paper 1, question 6. We have here a quadratic which has been modelled onto the opening of a tunnel. And we're asked to find an equation for the curve of this quadratic BCA. Using the information here in the question, we know that it is 6 metres wide, so that would give us x-intercepts at 3 and -3. So we know that two roots must be x add 3 and x take away 3. But that would give us a positive quadratic like that, and we need this to be negative, so we need a negative coefficient so that we end up with this shape. If we expanded this out, the constant would be 9, and we need the height of this to be 5, so we have to multiply that by 5/9 so that we are stretching it in this direction by a factor of 5/9 to take it from this curve to this one. You could expand that and have that as -5/9 of x squared add 5. That would also do it. A coach has a height of 4.1 metres and a width of 2.4 metres. Determine whether or not it's possible for the coach to enter the tunnel. So we've got a coach that's going to drive through the tunnel like this. So if the coach is 2.4 metres wide, then I'm going to use a width of 1.2 metres, substitute it into this equation, and then use that to find the height of the tunnel at that point and see whether the tunnel is taller than the coach or not as tall as the coach. So when we substitute in 2.1 metres, we get -5/9 of 2.1 squared, add 5, and that is 4.2. So the coach has a height of 4.1 metres, the tunnel has a height of 4.2 metres at this point where it meets the coach's width, therefore the tunnel is taller than the coach, so yes, the coach can enter as the tunnel is greater in height than the coach. Suggest a reason why this model may not be suitable to determine whether or not the coach can pass through the tunnel. There are loads of reasons you could have for this. One is that the coach would have to drive down the middle of the tunnel, which may not be sensible. One, we might assume that, or this assumes that the tunnel is the same shape throughout, but it might not be. There might be lights hanging down in the tunnel. So lots of other reasons that you could give there. One that isn't acceptable is to say that the curve is just an estimate and so might not fit properly, because we can see actually behind it the tunnel is bigger than the curve. So if we're saying that this curve gives us enough room and the tunnel is bigger, then the tunnel will definitely give enough space at the opening for that coach. So that wouldn't be an acceptable reason.